run on court so far. They are up against the Spa Baby Proteas, who are here as part of their preparations for the 2025 World Youth Champions in Gibraltar. So as we get into the fourth and final quarter, it is the Spa Baby Proteas that find themselves trailing. And Amanda, just your observation, what would you say is the main thing that they need to do to bridge the gap and perhaps get the victory, the Spa Baby Proteas side?
I think they just got to try and see if they can be a little bit more creative on the attack there from Van der Merwe, especially in the circle. It seems that they're just struggling to find her at the moment. They can't offload the ball to her as easily as they did with Duran. So I think definitely Van der Merwe needs to give them better options to the ball, and then of course make sure she sinks that shots, because if she doesn't, the defenders are going to capitalize on the rebounds, and they've done that in that third quarter. They've come up with a lot of ball in hand, especially in that circle. So I think at the moment it's just the attack that's not working for them. Defensively, they've been applying the pressure at times, but I think the biggest adaptation needs to happen on the attack.
Well, hopefully that's going to come through, but at the moment it is the Baobabs that look like they've got the upper hand. Look at the patience from them. They'll play that extra ball, and then as soon as they can find Mushuri, they will lobby those long-range passes through to her.
And she's doing well there. She's actually now taking the ball. She's taking it strongly and making sure she's got good hands on the ball. There again, the work coming from Mujaji. Nopa doing a lot of work trying to get into the space of Van der Merwe. Again, that close range shot. She needs to sink it. She can't give the defenders a hand there.
I look at some of the other players in the squad. Just having a bit of off time. They're not the ones on court. They're not the ones under the spotlight. So Tato Lechoti having a bit of a chuckle there on the grandstands. Ooh, Financial well read, just slightly delayed.
Yeah, I think she read it beautifully. Just the angle that she took. She just slightly needs to adjust her line. But I think the mere fact that she's actually going for it is a good thing. As a coach, that's something that you want to see. Oh, and again, a massive defensive effort down the other end. And for some of the young players that's not in that national squad, they want to prove a point today.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whenever they meet up with the U21 side, they are going to put their hands up and say, okay, but look at me also. So I think until that plane leaves the ground, it's still open for players to try and see if they can come into that squad and be part of that side that goes to the World Cup. But look at that from Matfield. Just trying to stay on side. Quite the acrobat to be finding there on the outside of the circle.
Yeah, fully agree with you. Until that team has been finalized, anyone can put their hand up. There is that acrobatic move that you're talking about it. From Jamie Matfield. Oh, Nampara Palalani is the go-to goal defensively. She came in the second quarter and really made a massive difference. I mean, look at that, 7 intercepts from the Baobabs and 5 from the Spa Baby Proteas.
Sammy, but I'm enjoying this attacking combination of the Baobabs. And again, it's Kumanu that's now transformed into a totally different player. I don't know if she doesn't like wing attack, so she just doesn't do the work, but she's just transformed into a totally new different player. Matfield being able to adapt and move to that wing attack position for them as an extra attacker. And again, Nompa contesting for that rebound.
Yeah, Michelle just has to, get her confidence up, back herself up. She's more than capable, but I think sometimes when she's right under the goalpost, it's slightly a different position to shoot from. I mean, we do see shooters, missing those shots from right under the goalpost, but I think she must be aware of that and perhaps try to step a little bit back, because she's relying on that second attempt at goal to make it count.
Oh, another fan in the house here to support her girls. Lovely footwork there from Kumalo, the quick split.
But over and above that, she presented herself as if she was receiving the ball, and what that did is that it drew the defender and opened up nicely for Mkhuri Khajayo at the back. So I love that. I think it was a job well done. So 5 goals difference. Can the Baobabs Proteas stage a comeback, reduce the deficit that they currently face? "43 out of 43 for Mkhuri Khajayo, 100%. He's a shining star for the Baobabs. Yeah, there's a strategic stoppage called by Precious and Tembo.
Okay, I want that zone to happen, please. It's not happening. You open up the middle, Anya. Don't open that middle. The team is just coming in there every single time. Okay, just shut there, call it. This is opening. Just shut there. Yes, it is. Okay, let's put the zone. We need to have the hands up. Let's assist with the long ball. Please go into the circle. It's getting too easy. Alright, work with that. Okay, on attack, play close, nice and short passes, patience, get the ball to the edge and we shoot. Confidence. Okay.
Yeah, so open up the middle. So just Precious and Tembo reminding them of their game plan. We saw this earlier on in the day. They started off strong in the first half, but the second half not going as well as she would have liked. So I love the fact that now she's calling her troops in early, rallying them in, and trying to get them over the line in the last 8 minutes of this match, because they can take this. They definitely can, but they're going to have to remember what their game plan is.
Mums, this game has shifted momentum. The defensive effort from the Baobabs, really the game changer. The amount of pressure they're putting the Baby Proteas under at the moment. If you could just give us a sense of what's happening down there.
Oh, well, you can see how much it means for the Baby Proteas at the moment. Carsten's on the floor, really ready to battle it out. So if you look inside right now, they're trying a double on Mkhuri, and the problem is now it's leaving Nokwanda alone. So she's playing double balls to herself until she gets inside and she's close enough to give the offload. And because she's in this inside of the court, of the circle, that's a beautiful attempt there. Much better if they do it this way, but nobody's putting their hands on Unokwanda, so I'm not sure at the moment if the doubling up on Mkhuri is helping. And if they are doing it, she is running until she's inside the circle before she gives that last offload, but she really needs to be shut down. But at the moment, I think just in terms of figuring out whether are we doubling or are we going to do man-to-man, It just looks a little bit negative on this side in terms of that. But most of the problems, like you said, is happening on the shooting side of the baby Spa Proteas. If they were converting all the opportunities the defense is giving them, then they wouldn't be sitting in this situation at the moment.
And the Baobabs, they just gonna try their best to manage the game right now. Maybe see if they can get one more turnover, perhaps. Make sure they keep the scoreboard just out of reach from the U21 squad. Slowing the game down a little bit. Patience with the ball in hand. They don't need to force anything. The high take from Macfield. Kumalu finding that pocket. But I mean, you're going to have a field day there in the pocket. To me, you'll agree with me.
Yeah.
It's like passing the ball to a street light.
Yeah. Indeed. That's unfortunately for the Spa Baby Proteas, and I think, you know, when we do reconcile the stats, you'll see the missed opportunities.
But I mean, Simi, did you see that take? Right now, I know you didn't because you were still looking at the defense down the other end, but look at that take from Mkhuluri there, the hands, going up against two defenders.
Yeah.
And then getting the penalty.
For me, she's been quite impressive, I'll be honest. I mean, we looked at her stats earlier on, boasting 100% success rate. And she's also been under the whip, you know, facing two defenders in most instances, but she's been fighting it out there, you know, cementing her dominance. So I'm really impressed by what she's delivered today. I mean, look at the score, 10 goals up for the Baobabs after they were trailing at half-time. And the shooting circle for me really worked for them today. While for the Spa Baby Proteas, they've had to rely on the second or third attempt to make things count. So something really for Precious, you know, to look into and hopefully improve on as the tournament or the competition progresses. So there's a score breakdown. You'll see that first quarter, it is the Spa Baby Proteas that took charge, and in the third, you know, things turning around in favor of the Baobabs, and now they're consolidating this fourth and final quarter, you know, with a solid performance.
So I don't think Mkhuluri has done anything flashy today. Yes, there's still growth for her, maybe in how she positions herself and how she presents herself to the ball. But I think for me, she's done two good things today. She's taken every ball that's come into that circle, and there's been a few bombs that came in. She had good hands, and she put the ball through the ring. And I mean, that's your main job as a shooter. So I think it's been good to see that from her, just keeping her cool, keeping her calm, no matter the pressure down there. And even the way the ball comes in at times, there's been a few ones that's been dropped on her there.
Yeah, definitely a few, and there's a couple of other players, I mean, I want to talk about as well that I feel changed the course of this game for the Baobabs. I mean, if you talk about Nompara Palalani, who only stepped in that second quarter, and immediately you could see a lot more pressure exerted in the shooting circle of the Spa Baby Proteas. You talk about Nokwanda Kumalo up front as well, that came in, didn't take much shooting responsibility, but opened the circle up nicely, setting Mkhuluri up for success, understanding her role and responsibility in the shooting circle. So I'm really impressed with the changes that Emily Matosa brought in, the timing of those changes, and how well the 7 on court executed. So this is a job well done, demonstrating the ability of the Baobabs to come back from behind and take control.
Yes, Simeon, and you spoke about changes, when to inject them, when to use them. We saw the changes from the Baobabs working really nicely for them. So I think again the changes working on the one side, right changes, right time. Changes perhaps for the Spa Proteas, not the best changes, but it is about giving those players an opportunity.
And you know, for me, and I'm saying this with absolutely no bearing on what happens, you know, with the Spa Baby Protea selection. But I think success could look like a scenario where your team that you put in the first half maintains the intensity, maintains the performance in the second half. Let's say at the end of the third leg, when they know exactly, you know, who the 14 are. That's what you want as a coach. You want to make sure that everybody understands assignment and they can deliver and play at that same level of intensity.
And we'll look at that, the feed to Marshall coming on the court, sinking that shot, just settling in. So quickly, the drive there. The Baobabs just really having control of the game in this last 10 balls. Oh, look at that. Good job.
Oh, that's unfortunate there, but we'll give the Spa Baby Proteas an opportunity to close off on a high. Oh, Mochachi Ramuralo, I've been saying she's a silent thief of the ball. And just when you think, you know, she's coasting somewhere, she comes out of nowhere with a flyer. Absolutely brilliant stuff. There she is. And there's, look at that timing. You know, she put all her foot, all her energy in to make sure that she gets that ball.
But something we all know, defenders, they're going to steal the last show.
Of course.
They're going to come in and just close things off.
You say this from experience, man.
Good there from Kamalia and Matfield.
And it is done. The Baobabs record their first victory against the Spa Baby Proteas. A great job done by that young lady. Mashuri Khetwayo, who was incredible throughout for 4 quarters and consistently so. It was a good fight that was put up by the Spa Baby Proteas, but not able to hold the lead that they secured in that first half. But lots of lessons for Precious Ntembu and Pumza Mawenu's team, and it's still a long journey as they're looking to fine-tune and perfect their game plan. So that's the score then at the end of this match. It is a victory, a first one at this year's TNL for the Baobabs, 59-46 at the end of the match.